Good morning and greetings from Fort Hays State University in Hays, Kansas. My name is Carol Sokoloff, and I'm Director of International Student Services here at the university.
I am Karen McCullough, and I'm the Assistant Director of International Student Services, and both Carol and I work in the International Student Services office on our campus.
We're pleased that you can join us, and we'd like to take this time to talk about what you can expect as a new student who is planning to come to Fort Hays State University. We'll give you some pre-arrival tips. We'll talk about what your experience will be once you arrive to campus, and actually how to make your travel plans to arrive to Fort Hays State University. As an admitted student to Fort Hays, you hopefully have received your immigration documents. That may be an I-20, a DS-2019, and your admission letter. Those are very important documents for you, and if you've not already gone for your visa appointment, you will need those in order to do that. Those are documents that you always want to keep in your possession along with your passport as you make your travel plans to Hays. You should also be receiving or have received already information from the international office about room reservations, travel reservations, because we do schedule busing from Denver, Colorado to the university. We have an airport or a regional airport in Hays that students can also fly into. But during the busy times when students are coming, we try to have a couple of dates where we will provide bus transportation. So it's always good to review your arrival information and the documents that are sent to you to see when those buses may be available and when and if they work with your travel plans. So to talk about preparing to travel to Hays, again, part of your documents included a number of checklists, which hopefully will make an easy reference for you as you, again, prepare your travel. One of them is we would like you to email the international office if you've not already done so. And this lets us know the best way to communicate with you up until the time you arrive to campus. So if you have not already done so, I would encourage you to email international@fhsu.edu, and that email comes directly to the international office. You may have questions about, again, travel or information, but primarily we want to make sure you've received your documents and that this is the best way to communicate with you. Also, again, we talked a little bit about your documents and going for your visa. If you, again, have not gone for your visa, it's very important that you make your appointment as soon as possible. Don't be nervous when you go for your appointment. Answer the questions honestly that the visa officer asks you. You have a very short time with them. They are seeing a lot of students who are also wanting to get a visa. So primarily they will ask you, where are you going to go to school? Why did you choose that school? How are you going to pay for your education? And then what are your plans after you complete your education? What the visa consulate wants to know is that your plans are to come to study in the United States and that you plan to return back to your home country once you've completed your degree. Again, don't be nervous. They know that international students are oftentimes not near native speakers, so they will be very patient with you. But again, please answer the questions honestly so that the visa officer doesn't have a reason not to give you your visa. If you don't get your visa the first time, you can always go for a second interview, and I would encourage you to do that. If you have questions about how to prepare for a second interview, again, that would be a good opportunity for you to email our office to ask for some tips. You will, once you have your visa, start making your travel plans. Again, once you have made your airline reservation, please let us know what your travel plans are to Hays. We would like international students to arrive typically a week or so before the semester starts. Again, the date is listed in your arrival information. The reason that this is important is because we will plan an orientation for new students. And I'm going to let Karen talk to you about what you can expect within that orientation.
Yes, as you've been looking through your pre-arrival checklist, you will see information about orientation and also information about some of the topics that we will cover in orientation. On your checklist, it's very important that you turn in your housing reservation form back to our office, email that to international@fhsu.edu to reserve yourself a spot to stay in our residence halls. In your pre-arrival checklist, you'll also find information about health insurance, which is very important at Fort Hays. And health insurance in our Student Health Center is one of the things that we will be talking with you about during orientation. Once you come to campus, if you're living in the residence halls, we will get you settled in. On your floor, you'll meet your RA and the housing staff and the other students that you'll be staying with, and then you will start spending time in our international orientation. We will help you do all of the things that you need to do to prepare to be a student at Fort Hays. So during orientation, we'll get you your student ID card. We will help you complete your housing contract and take care of all of those details. We will also have you visit our Student Health Center, which you will complete some mandatory student health forms there. And then all international students are required to do a TB screening when they arrive to our campus. Many students ask us if they can use the results from a TB screening that they have had in their home country, and unfortunately the U.S. rules do not allow us to use any testing that has been done outside of the country. So you will have to be re-screened when you arrive at Fort Hays. If you are transferring from a U.S. university or community college and you've been tested at the Student Health Center there, you can have that test result sent to our Student Health office, and they will count that. We get many questions about the TB testing. It's not scary, but it is something that all international students need to do, and it has to be done before you can sit in your classes. So we will do that as part of orientation. Other things we will do during orientation, we will tour our community of Hays, and we will show you some of the different areas that you will be spending your time at while you are living in Hays. We'll also take a tour of campus. We will have a variety of presentations so that you can learn how to be successful here as a student at Fort Hays. You will meet your advisor. You will get a class schedule. You will also perhaps do some language screening when you arrive. So we have a lot of things for you to do, but it is all very beneficial for you, and it will help you prepare to be a successful student at Fort Hays. We also have some fun events that will be planned for you. You'll be meeting the residence hall staff. We will be going on campus and doing activities. So it will be fun, and you'll get to meet campus and meet a lot of the people here at Fort Hays. And so we, again, encourage you to come early and look at the date listed in your pre-arrival checklist of when you should be arriving on campus, and it's very important that you are here by those dates.
One thing, in adding, Karen had talked about the Student Health Center, the TB testing, and health insurance. Health insurance is something that students have a lot of questions about. Healthcare in the United States is extremely good. We have an excellent healthcare system, but our healthcare system is also expensive, which is why all international students are required to have health insurance. And that's an immigration requirement that the U.S. requires all students to have health insurance. And so the insurance you can purchase when you pay your tuition and fees, so it's convenient to do. It allows you to, again, use the health center on campus at a reduced rate. There is a doctor and nurses on staff at the health center. It also allows you to use your health insurance in the community if you get sick and have to go to the hospital, or oftentimes students travel over the break. And so you may be in another state, you may be traveling, and your health insurance is available for you to use wherever you are in the U.S. You actually could use your health insurance when you return home if you go home over a break. The good thing about the health insurance, too, is there is a number that you can call. So let's say on the weekend you're not feeling well, and you don't want to go to the emergency room, but you want to talk to someone about the symptoms that you have. There is a number you can call that's a service that's part of the health insurance that you can talk to a nurse on call and explain to them what your symptoms are. They have translators, so if you feel like you can't explain your symptoms in English, they can get a translator on the phone, and they can talk you through whether your health concern is an emergency that requires you to go to the emergency room, or if it's something that they can give you some suggestions, maybe like rest, take some what we call over-the-counter medicine, and then go to the health center when it opens during the regular office hours. So again, that's a free service that's available through your health insurance. Also, if you're traveling and you need to see a doctor, you can also call that emergency line, and they will help you locate a medical facility close to where you are. So again, it provides a valuable service as part of that insurance plan. We have had students whom part of the insurance is what's called evacuation and repatriation. Evacuation is, let's say a student gets very ill and they're required to go home to get better. The insurance will pay for a family member to come and accompany their student home, and it will pay for the cost of the flight for the student to go home to their home country. Again, that's a very worst case scenario, but that's also a benefit that the insurance provides for students. So again, oftentimes the question students have is, why must I purchase this insurance? It seems very expensive for me, and I'm a very healthy person. I don't think that I will need my insurance. But some things happen. Accidents happen. Maybe you're riding your bicycle and you wreck your bicycle and you need to have emergency care. Again, that's what insurance is for. It won't cover all your expenses, but it will cover a good portion of the expenses you may have. Again, we understand the healthcare system is very confusing. So our Student Health Center, the International Office, we want to help students navigate the questions they have, and so we're available to help you use your insurance to the best of its ability to help you avoid what we call a lot of extra out-of-pocket expenses. So we will talk again more at orientation about health insurance, but I just wanted to kind of reinforce the importance of health insurance and the need for that when you are studying within the U.S. No matter where you study or where you travel, it's a very important thing that students need. So again, as you are preparing to come, you are probably going to want to know what to bring. Again, we strongly recommend all first-time students to campus live in the residence halls. And the reason for that is it's very convenient for students to live on campus, to eat in the cafeteria, and to be able to walk to their classes, because the residence halls are very close to your academic buildings. You will share a room with one other person, so there are 2 beds, desk, closet, and a chair for you to have a study area. You will need to either purchase linens, what we call bedding, a sheet, a blanket, a pillow when you get here, and towels, or some students would like to bring those items with them. And you're perfectly, you can do that if you like. Just keep in mind that while you're packing, the more things you pack like that, the less room you have for clothes or other items that you might need. We have a Walmart, which is here in Hays, that most students will choose to go to and purchase the items they need for their room so they don't have to bring them with them when they come. And during the first few days when new students arrive, we will provide transportation to both the mall and to Walmart so students can get those personal items they need, and also bedding and linen and things like, and school supplies they need to help prepare them to begin the semester. Again, the resident halls have a cafeteria, and they have a variety of different food options for you to experience. And if there's something special, or if you have a special dietary need, you can talk to the food service, and they will try to accommodate your dietary need. One of the experiences of being an international student is experiencing American food, American culture, and all of those things. So we understand while you may not like all of the foods that are at the cafeteria, we're confident that you will find items that you do like, and will be able to have full breakfast, lunch, and dinner if that's what your dietary needs, or that's what your schedule allows for.
There are some limited opportunities for students living in the residence halls to do some cooking on their floors. There are a couple stoves that students can use to prepare some dishes that they would like to eat from home. And so that's something that you may think about as well. You can buy fresh fruit and vegetables and meats at the Walmart that Carol was talking about. And we do have a couple grocery stores that are within walking distance of campus that offer some international types foods and spices and things like that. So many students do enjoy eating in the residence halls. There are different varieties of food. If you are living in the hall, there's a cafeteria, and there's also a cafeteria and some different food options on our campus. There's a Starbucks that you will have access to get coffee and pastries with your meal plan. They also have snack type items at the Starbucks: soda pop, milk, hot dogs, some chips that you can buy there. There's a Pizza Hut where you can get pizza. They have a salad bar. They have a grill where they cook hamburgers and chicken. And they also have soup and some hot meals. Sometimes they have a stir fry. And then there's a sandwich shop in the basement. So there are lots of food options, and I think sometimes students they're really surprised at how good the food is and how much they do like eating on campus. So food does make many of the students nervous when they come to campus, but there are lots of things. There are also different restaurants that are within walking distance of our campus. So you can, there's actually a Chinese restaurant that you can walk to from campus. There is an American barbecue location. There's some soup and sandwich shops. So there's lots of things for you to take advantage of while you're on campus. The Starbucks is the most popular location for international and American students, and so you will be spending a lot of time at the Starbucks.
One thing we would ask that you do is, as you are packing, again, your documents with your I-20, your DS-2019, and your passport, is to please bring your medical history. If you have vaccinations, a lot of students have records that include any types of shots they have received. If you are allergic, which means there are certain foods or certain medications that your body has a reaction to, if you can bring those medical forms or those documents with you, that will be very helpful. Oftentimes students will ask, are there special vaccinations we need to get before we come to campus? Do we need to get a physical before we come to campus? Students who live in the residence halls are strongly suggested to get a meningitis vaccination. It's not required, but it's suggested. And so that will be something you will be asked if you haven't got it or you don't want to receive it, just to sign a form acknowledging that. Students may also get the MMR, the measles, mumps, rubella immunization before they come. And again, those are typically noted in their immunization books. But again, if you can talk to your family about your health history, that is very helpful for our Student Health Center. So if you do get sick and you need to utilize their services, they have that information for you. And they will, again, make a copy of those documents when you visit them to do your TB screening. So again, just as you're planning that and you're making your packing, it's important to have those documents in your carry-on bag with you so that it doesn't get lost. So don't check those documents in your baggage. Make sure you put it in your backpack. If you're bringing a laptop, bringing it in something that you are carrying physically with you so you have it. So again, when you go through customs, you have your passport and your immigration documents. Very, very important to have.
Some other things to think about as you're preparing and planning to travel to Hays. If you are bringing a laptop, please have your computer programs installed in English. Many times international students bring their laptops from their home country, and the programs and the systems are all in foreign languages. We have a computing center on campus that can help students if their laptop breaks down. But if your laptop is programmed in another language, our computer programmers cannot help you. So if you haven't purchased a laptop yet and you're looking to purchase one before you come, please purchase one where the programs and the system are installed in English. Then you can get assistance and you can get help on our campus if you need help with your laptop. But again, if you're bringing a laptop from home and all of the programs are in another language, our computing center will not be able to help you with your laptop. Something else to think about, if you will be traveling with credit cards, please notify your bank that you will be leaving to study in the United States for however long you're going to be here, and let them know so that they allow you to charge and to use your credit card in the United States. Sometimes students also have a limit on a transaction amount once they get to the United States. If you're planning on paying for your tuition with your credit card, please ask your bank to remove that limit so that you can charge your credit card for a little higher amount than they would normally let you charge. Many times students are ready to pay for their classes and they try to use their credit card and then they are unable to, and then they have to try to contact with their bank in their home country to make sure that their card is opened up or that it is allowing them to make charges in the United States, and then it's also allowing larger charges like tuition purchases. So those are some things to think about if you are not bringing a credit card and you're planning to wire money to the United States. You'll want to start thinking about which bank you might want to open up an account with once you get to Hays. We have several banks in our community, and it's your choice which bank you would like to bank with once you arrive in our community.
And as part of, again, orientation, we will provide you with the banks. There are a number of banks that are within walking distance of campus, and so it will make it convenient if you need to go to the bank to talk to them personally. All of the banks have the ability to accept wire transfers, but again, keeping in mind that the wire transfer and the time it takes to have the money wired into your account may take a period of time for the money to be available for you to use for tuition, as Karen said. You can do some little pre-searching if you like on the City of Hays. I believe the website probably has banks that are listed. But again, we will try to help you by providing you a list of banks that are close to campus. We don't endorse one bank over the other. We just try to help students to make the decision that's best for them. And oftentimes, For students, it's based on the availability and the cost to wire money. And so we will try to have already pre-researched the banks, at least within walking distance, on do they have a charge for wiring money, to make sure that we have the routing number. And so we will try to make it as convenient as possible for you to select and to secure a bank account.
We do not endorse you bringing large amounts of cash with you when you travel. That is very dangerous, and so please do not bring large amounts of cash. Have a plan of how you will either use a credit card to pay for items while you're in the United States, or having money wired to campus.
And if you don't have a credit card, it may be something you want to think about getting before you come to the United States, depending on where you are, and if there is, again, a MasterCard, Visa, or if there's a credit card associated with the bank that you and or your family have an established relationship with. As Karen said, you don't want to bring large amounts of money with you, carrying on your person with you, because that's probably a question you will be asked when you come to immigration. Are you carrying large amounts of money? Also, sometimes students will bring traveler's checks, and it's not common, but sometimes students will bring traveler's checks. If you are planning to bring a bank draft or a money order in order to pay for your tuition, please make sure it is addressed to Fort Hays State University, because if it is addressed to you, the university cannot accept the check endorsed to you personally. So you would have to open a bank account, and again, it will take some time for that check or money order to clear. So again, if you're planning to pay with any type of a bank draft, please make sure it's made out to Fort Hays State University. But again, make sure that you are thinking ahead of how you will plan to pay for your tuition and fees. Again, carrying small amounts of money, because you may need to purchase some things in the airport as you travel, are maybe necessary. So just kind of think and plan ahead. And maybe that might be a question you would have for us would be, so if I'm planning to bring a money order, how much would my tuition be for 12 credit hours? And for my housing, so we could give you an idea in working with the student fiscal office on campus what that amount might be for you. Some of you may have a class schedule already. Most of you will make a class schedule when you arrive to campus. So if you don't have one, don't worry. You will be able to get your classes when you come to campus. All students are required to do a language screening. Even if you have a passing language score, or if you're transferring from another university, or you've met the language proficiency, all students do a language screening. Don't panic. If your language is good, you will not have any problem. The language screening will test your grammar. It will screen your grammar. It will screen your writing, and there will also be a listening and a speaking portion of the exam. All of this is done, again, during orientation, so don't worry, don't stress about the screening. Just come in with a very positive attitude and do your very best. One of the other reasons we like students to come before the semester starts is because we want you to get used to Kansas time. And probably adjusting to the time in the United States, the first few days will be difficult for you to do. But we want you to get adjusted so that during the day you are rested And when you take your screening, your mind is fresh, your body is not tired, and you will be able to perform at your optimum. We especially want you to be adjusted to the time when the academic semester starts, because again, you will have a lot of reading to do, you will have a lot of outside work to do, and so we want you to adjust to what we call Hays time. And depending on where you are from, that can be anything from a 6-hour adjustment to a 13-hour adjustment. So again, we know that you want to visit with your family and friends at home, but since you are a student here, we want them to stay up late in order to talk to you during the day so that you can sleep at night and not be up very late to talk to your family. In regards to communicating with your family, the campus is totally wireless. So if you are bringing, again, a laptop, as Karen said, you will be able to log into the wireless network in the resident halls. If you're sitting in what we call the grassy area or the quad between academic buildings, every place on campus is wireless. So if you want to Skype your family, give them a campus tour via walking around, you can do that through the wireless and through your communication devices and tools, whether, again, that's Skype or whatever medium that you use. We understand that it's a big transition, and you will be excited to come to the university, and we're very excited to have you here. And so we want to make that time before the semester starts as optimum for you in adjusting to, again, campus and what to expect academically.
One of the offerings that we have for students, because we feel really passionately that we want to help you be a successful student, is after orientation is over, we have an international orientation or a seminar class that we enroll all new international students in. It's a really great opportunity for international students to continue to learn about those topics that we introduced during orientation. We really get to spend some time together in the classroom talking about what it's like to study in the U.S. and the U.S. education system, which is much different than the education systems that you have studied at in your previous countries. The class is free for you. There is no tuition cost associated with it, so that's really a huge benefit for you as an international student. There is not a book that you need to purchase. We give you all of the handouts and the materials that we will go over, so the cost is nothing for you. All it costs you is your time, 2 days a week to come for 50 minutes, and we talk about how to be successful in the United States. And so we feel very passionately about helping you succeed and achieve your goals. We will talk about the U.S. education system in depth and how it is different than the U.S. education systems around the world. We'll talk about what the faculty in your academic classes expect from you and how that is probably different than the countries that you have studied in the past. We'll also introduce you to the different services that are available to you on campus, the library, the writing center. We'll again talk about student health and health insurance, and we'll introduce just all of the different people who want to help you succeed at Fort Hays as well. We'll also have some fun. We'll learn about American culture. We'll learn about some history of the university and about Hays. We'll also talk about the different holidays that we celebrate in the United States and kind of preview that and help you understand why sometimes Americans do the things that they do. And so it's a very short class. It's only 8 weeks, and so our time together goes by very quickly. But the international students who have went through the class have found it very beneficial and that they have learned a lot during their time in our class. We always ask the students to give us some feedback at the end of class and give us some advice that we can pass along to students who are coming to Fort Hays, things that they wish they would have known as a new international student. And so I'll share a couple pieces of advice. with you. We ask the students, what do you wish you knew about Fort Hays before you came? And the top 2 answers were what the food is like, and we've talked a lot about that already in our presentation about the American food, and then what the weather is like. And so I think we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about Hays weather. Our temperature when you arrive in August will be warm. We will be in summer, and so the sun will be out and it can be very hot. Many of the international students have parasols or umbrellas that they carry around on campus to keep the sun off of them and to stay cool. But when you're packing, you will want to bring some cool clothes that will keep you cool and comfortable, maybe some shorts and short sleeve shirts. You'll want comfortable shoes, tennis shoes, or sandals to walk around in. As we transition then into fall, our weather will get cooler, and we will actually then into winter become what it can be cold for some students. It does snow in Hays, and so we will have temperatures that are cold. There will be snow on the ground, and the wind does blow. So you'll want warm clothes, pants, boots, mittens, gloves, coats. If you don't want to pack some of those items, you can purchase those here in Hays as well. But then in the spring semester, it will start to warm up and it will become mild again, and by the time school is out, you will be wearing shorts and short sleeve shirts again. So the weather it's 4 seasons, and so you will get to experience summer and very hot temperatures, and then the winter can be cold, and for many students they will see snow for the first time, and they really enjoy seeing the snow, walking in the snow, making a snowball, making a snowman, throwing snow at their friends, and so that is very fun for the students. But pack lots of different clothes, and again, you can always purchase things once you get to Hays.
And again, each person has their own thought about what the clothes they like to wear. Again, a lot of students will, as Karen said, bring clothes that they feel comfortable in. But again, you can purchase clothes at the mall. There also are what we call secondhand stores that there are gently used clothes that are at a much reduced price that students can go and buy. There is, in the fall, a couple of local businesses that will have free winter coats. Again, these are coats that were gently used that they put out, and anybody in the community can come and pick up a winter coat. Sometimes they have hats and mittens, so that might also be a good opportunity, and we will send that information out to all students, letting them know on this date you can go from this time to this time to pick out a coat. And the location is, again, very close to campus, so students can walk if they choose to go to see if they want to get a coat or not. Again, you may develop friendships here, which most international students want to make an American friend or several American friends so they can improve their English. And oftentimes their American friends will take them to another town, to their hometown, and they will do shopping there as well. We try to do 1 or 2 trips outside of Hays to a larger community. We try to make it a cultural experience, and then we often tie some shopping into that. So again, that's information that our office sends out to students to see if they want to participate in. We want to make students feel as much at home, not only on campus, but in the Hays community as we can. I think that you will find that the campus and the Hays community is extremely friendly and very welcoming to all new and returning international students. So don't be surprised if people will wave at you and say hello to you, and they are people that you don't know, because again, people are just very friendly here. If you have questions, don't be afraid to ask. Oftentimes, if you are going from building to building and you're not sure where something is, just stop someone on the sidewalk and say, can you help me to find this office? And they will tell you where the location is. The best way to improve your English is to use your English. So again, don't be afraid to talk, or if you think you are going to make a mistake, that's okay too. I think what I will do is ask Vivi if she might give you a little bit of advice as someone who was both an undergraduate and a graduate student at Fort Hays, on some advice that she might have for you as a new student.
Hello everyone, my name is Vivi Wei Lai. I'm from Southeast China, Jiangxi province. I came here Fort Hays as an undergraduate student, and then I had my master's degree here as well. I had a really good experience in this university. And I'd like to share my experience with you as a freshman. As Karen and Karen talked about, taught you like how to pack your stuff and how to find help. My suggestion will be calm down. Don't be nervous about the English ESL screening exam. It's totally fine. Just relax and do your best. It's not as terrible as you thought. And also, I would think you definitely enjoy the weather, especially the sky, the environment in Hays, Kansas, and also everyone in here is so friendly, and you can talk to them and just practice your English. And also, if you have any question, just ask our International Student Services. They're so helpful, and also talk to your American classmates, American friends, and your professors. They are willing to help you and make you successful in both in academic area and in your life. Do you have like specific question?
I would ask if you might talk to the students about what to expect when they come through customs into the airport.
Okay. When you arrive at America, when you go to the custom, you definitely need to have your IDs, and also there are two forms that you will fill out in the airplane. Your I-20, just all the documents you want to have the visa. It's not very confusing. You just follow the instruction because there are people, staff in the airport to guide you to do each step. So you just follow the instruction, prepare all the documents, your IDs, and smile. Just tell them why you come to America and which is your university. And well, you are a student, so it will be easy for you to go through the custom. Don't be nervous and don't feel like it's not my country and I want to go. It's okay. You will be fine.
One thing, when you go through customs or you go through security, please make sure you have all of your items. Make sure you have your passport, your I-20, DS-2019. The official will give it back to you. Don't set it on the counter and walk off. Always make sure that you put it back in your backpack. If you take your computer out and you put it on the screener, make sure you take your laptop back. It seems once a year a student gets nervous and they forget their laptop. And because they're in a hurry to get to their connection, or they're in a hurry to catch up with their friends or their group, make sure that whatever you take out and put through security, that you collect and you put back. because while we have had good luck locating the items that were lost, it creates a lot more stress for you if you don't have them. So again, we know students are nervous to go through customs. We know they're nervous to make the connection to the next flight. But just as Vivi said, try to relax and be calm. If you're traveling with a group, again, try to stay together as a group and help each other, whether it's with bags, reminding each other, do you have your immigration documents? Do you have your passport? You know, do you have all of your bags? If a bag gets lost or it doesn't make a connection, don't panic. Ask someone, you know, my bag is lost. What do I need to do? They will help you fill the paperwork out. Again, if you are going to utilize the charter bus in Denver, we will have a staff person there to help with the students, to meet you, to help you get your luggage, to help you get on the bus, and to come to Hays. But again, it's very important if you want to take that transportation that you send us your travel information, because we need to know on those dates when we have the buses scheduled how many people are traveling, so we make sure we have enough space for students and we have enough space for luggage. So please make sure that if there are any documents, any reservation forms, again, housing, travel, just even travel information, even if you plan to fly directly into Hays, please let us know, because we can pick you up from the Hays airport if you choose to fly into the Hays airport. But we need to know when you're going to arrive. If something happens and you're delayed, we have an after-hours cell phone number that you can call to let us know you're going to be delayed. Again, that information is in your pre-arrival packet, but that number is 785-259-0005. Again, you can email the international office any questions you have, and that is international@fhsu.edu, and we will be happy to try to answer any questions that you have before you come. Again, make sure your important documents are in your carry-on with you. I also encourage you to put a luggage tag with your name, and maybe even Fort Hays State University and the address on that luggage tag, so that, again, if it gets lost, it will be easy for the airline to identify your name with the bag. It also helps us, again, if you are coming on the bus and even if you fly into the Hays airport, to make sure we have your luggage, so we can bring it with you to campus to get you settled into your room. So important documents in your carry-on. Make sure when you go through the airport you have all your belongings that you are having screened, and make sure all of your luggage is labeled, so that it's easy for not only you to identify, but for us and for the airline, because everybody travels with a big black bag. And so if there's 50 big black bags with no name, it's going to be hard to figure out whose bag it is.
Well, I think I have to leave now, but I want to tell you, in mainland China, we have Fort Hays on Xinlang Weibo, and we will post those useful information and also the video on Weibo, so you can follow us. It's just Fort Hays State University, and well, relax, and we're waiting for you in Fort Hays. So see you in Hays. I'll leave this to Karen and Carol. Bye.
So to just to kind of wrap up our pre-arrival orientation for you, we are very excited that you have chosen Fort Hays State University to just either start your education or continue your education. Our staff is here. We are excited to welcome you. We want to help you make the transition, and we hope if you have questions, you will not be afraid to ask us, because we are certainly here and willing to help you.